and the marketing mix. So here, personal selling is a part of promotional mix actually. Why personal selling is part of promotion mix? Because few features, or we can say, when personal selling, we are using personal selling to position our product in many of the cases, and that we have already discussed in our earlier point, that why personal selling is required, what kind of market we have, and why in that particular market personal selling is required, and what kind of products we have, and why personal selling is required on that particular product. So here we can say, if we see the marketing mix, we have four different P's, that is product, price, place, and promotion. And if we see the promotion mix is advertising, sales promotion, personal, public relations, and personal selling. So personal selling is a part of marketing mix. Now, why personal selling is a part of marketing mix? Because personal selling is customer oriented selling. In this particular topic, we focused only on customers. Our main focus is totally on customers, how we can satisfy them, how we can identify their needs, how we can identify their demands, how we can satisfy their demands, how we can fulfill their needs. So we are totally focused on customers need and demand. So we can say this is a customer oriented selling. Now, we can divide the personal selling process in three parts. We have three different parts, and we have to prepare according to the level, according to the situation, according to the position of personal selling. So we have divided personal selling into three parts. One is pre-transactional phase, number two is transactional phase, and number three is post-transactional phase. So in first phase, pre-transactional phase, we have prospecting. Prospecting means identify the potential customers. How we can identify the potential customers, what procedure we have to adopt to identify the potential customers, and what are the major requirement which is required to fulfill by the customers to qualify as a potential customer. So we have to decide those benchmark, those parameters. If a person is able to clear that parameters or that benchmarks, then he or she is my potential customers, or he or she is my prospects. So we have to identify the potential customers, and then we have to prepare the certain rules and regulations, so that the person is able to qualify this particular parameters. And if he or she is able to qualify those parameters, then he and she is my prospects or potential customers. And after that, we have to prepare how we can approach, how we will approach to those personal potential customers, what kind of approach are required to contact to that particular potential customers. So these activities, that preparation will come in pre-transactional phase. And in the second phase, that is transactional phase. In transactional phase, what we have to do, we have to do approach, need discovery, presentation, handling objection, and closing. So in this particular place, what we have to do, we have to first see how we can approach, what are the approaching methods we have, and how we can approach to the customers. Then if we are able to approach, now we have approached through different mechanisms. Now what we have to do, we have to identify the needs. We have to discover the needs in potential customers. So first we have to identify what kind of needs they have, and are my products is his actual solution of the problem. So we have to identify that my product is actual solution of the prospect's problem. Then in presentation, we have to show that, see how my product or services will solve your problem. That we have to do. And after giving presentation, what kind of cognitive dissonance or what kind of constructional disagreement is appears, or internal conflict will appear, that we have to handle. So in after presentation, we have to do handling objection sessions, and in this session we have to handle objection, any kind of objections he can raise, related to product, related to price, related to features, related to availability, any kind of objection customer can raise, a potential customer can raise, and we have to remove those objections. And after removing those objections, we have to close the sales. Close the sales means he is ready to purchase my product, he's ready for action, he is ready to purchase my product, and if he is ready to purchase my product and I have received money, my sales will close. And after closing the sales, my second phase will over, and my third phase will start, and that is post-transactional phase. And in post-transactional phase, what we have to do, we have to see after sales services. We have to work on after sales services and follow up practices. How we can give them 100% solutions. How we can satisfy. How we can remove some more objections if they have. And if we are able to remove those objections or those cognitive dissonance in follow-up and service after sales services stage, definitely we can increase our cycle. We can restart our cycle of selling. Definitely he or she will are repurchaser. Definitely he or she will repurchase my product. So we have to work on follow-up and after sales services for long-term relationship. So these are personal selling process. We have divided into 3 different parts. Now we have different steps which we will follow for personal selling. So we can say personal selling process. So we have 7 different steps that we have to cross for completing our personal selling process. Number 1 is prospecting, that is identifying potential customers. Pre-approach, that is qualifying prospects. Approaching the prospects. Making the sales presentation, handling objections, closing the sales, and follow up. So these 7 steps we have to follow to complete our personal selling process. Now, why personal selling is a part of promotional mix? That is a big question for us. Why personal selling is a part of promotional mix? So here, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to relate personal selling with IDA's effect. What is IDA's framework? IDA's framework is a basic part of advertisement. What actually we want to do in advertisements, we try to do IDA's framework. We frame a framework to give maximum advertisement, maximum positioning to our product. And for that, IDAS is the best framework for the approach of advertisement. And we have relate this personal selling process into IDAS framework. What is IDAS framework? IDAS framework is attention, interest, desire, action, and satisfaction. So actually in advertisement, we have to do these 5 different steps. We have to follow these 5 different steps. And personal selling process is also directly related with 5 different steps. How they are related in this diagram, we have shown how they are related. So bring attention. When we are trying to bring attention towards our product or services, what we have to do? We have to identify the prospects and we have to go for sales approaching. So the sales approaching and prospecting, these 2 steps will bring attention. They will bring attention towards my product, towards my services. So in these 2 steps will cover the attention part of the product of the customers. They will seeking attention, and how we can we can seek attention, we can attract our customers towards our product and services. Then in second part, in second stage, that is interest. Secure general interest in a rules desired. Yes, what we have to do in presentation and demonstration, we have to create interest. We have to ignite their interest, so that they are taking interest in my product, in my services. That kind of presentations are required. In presentation, we have to motivate them that only my product or services is the solution of your problem. Only my product or services will fulfill your need, your want, your desire. So that kind of presentation and demonstrations are required. And when we are able to give that kind of presentation, then few conflicts, few internal conflicts, or few cognitive dissonance, few constructive disagreement will arise. And in objection handling stage, what we have to do, we have to increase their desire, and we have to lowering down the cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance means constructive disagreement, or we can say internal conflict. Everybody is having some internal conflict towards product, maybe in terms of price, maybe in terms of features, maybe in terms of brand image, whatever things comes in your mind. As a sales executive, my job is to remove those objections. And in objection handling stage, we have to do this. We have to remove those cognitive dissonance as soon as possible, and as much as we can remove. So we have to do this thing in objection handling. And if we are able to handle their objections, the act of closing a sales will come, and that is action. They will give money, we will receive the money, and after receiving the money, my sales will close. So the sales closing steps will come. So once we have received the money, then my sales will close. If we have not received money, only we have received assurance or some promises, it doesn't mean my sales is closed. My sales will close only when we receive the money. Then only my sales will close. So after closing, sales closing, the last step is follow-up. Why follow-up is required? Because it will give me long-term relationship. Further lowering and minimizing cognitive dissonance, bringing satisfaction. Yes. If after completing my sales, after sales close, if there is some cognitive dissonance, some constructional disagreement, some inner conflicts are left, we can easily remove those objections. We should remove those objections for long-term relationship and maximum satisfaction. If we are able to provide follow-up services, after sales services in a better way to satisfy our customers, and that particular time again we have to handle some objections. And if we are able to handle those objections, believe me, those customers will join us for a long time. So if we actually want a long-term relationship with those customers, what we have to do, we have to remove their objection, whatever objections they have, whatever mindset they have, we have to remove those mindset, we have to remove those objections, we have to reduce those cognitive dissonance, and we have to increase the satisfaction level. And this relationship shows that personal selling process is a part of promotion mix rather than selling process. It's a part of promotion mix. It's not a part of selling process. So this IDA framework and personal selling, this is also very important question, that relationship between IDA framework and personal selling process.